This is everything this book teaches about that migration time period. The book doesn't tell any story. It's a list of facts to memorize.
Follow the halyard.
I wish it told me of their experience. What did they feel? What was it like? Aren't decisions like this important? So when I hand over the wagon train to you, who do I hand it to? It's going to get harder today. Wagons home!
He gave you a baby?
Yep.
Everybody, when Cecily and Espen come into the train with that, it changes the lives of everybody on that train.
He needs help! Isn't it more dangerous?
I mean, why take the harder road when you don't need to?
What's the point of going down the hard road?
Why are we on this wagon trip? Are we here to get to the end? Are we here to get as far as we can in one day?
No.
We're here for the experience.
I'm a shadow on the trail.
We all are.
Yeah, and what's neat about this trail is that it has that historic background. It has that historic movement of people. Native people would have used this corridor to come through here, as well as immigrant people. And now you've left your footprints there. And I don't know. What if in 150 years somebody said, man, it's clear as late as 2012. People were still using that trail for education.
Wow.
Yeah.
You guys look at the sunrise.
It's a birthday sunrise.
You've seen sunrises, you've seen sunsets, you've seen the middle of the dark, and you've still been awake. Wow. You guys have a lot of practice for what we're doing. Some of you are even starting to work.
Is it? Oh yeah, it's dry up.
I never said anything about feeding the animals, and they're being fed. I noticed that.
You said the animals need to be fed.
Oh, in my wake-up song. didn't I?
Yeah, but
My apologies.
that was
I forgot about that.
Yeah, that was good morning, get out of bed. Yes, you can't be there, you sleepyhead. There are lots of animals to be fed.
Yeah.
So I'd like to back off today and hand you the wagon train back. Is this the oxen group now? What makes a wagon train?
a group of wagons traveling together.
And you're a wagon.
Yes, we're a wagon.
So when I hand over the wagon train to you, who do I hand it to?
You hand it to the wagons, like the people in the wagon and the animals.
Yeah.
So how are you going to run your wagon? I'll be back. This is the whole group?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm telling you, I'm handing you over the wagon train. What's your thoughts? I say, how are you going to run that?
Do whatever you've been doing.
What does your guidebook suggest? Does one of you have a guidebook? Okay. I'll be back. Captain or no captain? What does your guidebook recommend?
Oh, appoint no captain.
So you have to make that choice, because there are some guidebooks that say appoint no captain. What does your textbook say they did?
They said they appointed a wagon leader.
Looks like you have to decide that yourself.
We've done well without captain. Unless we should take a vote.
It says appoint no captain, make no bylaws. Be quiet, attend to your own business.
What does your textbook say?
Fancy. Can't say for sure.
Okay. And you guys read that textbook. What did you do with that information that you read? Yeah. Got rid of it as soon as the test was over. You tend to read for what purpose?
For grades,
Read for grade.
because we had
What did your guidebook say?
we need captains.
Yeah. And this one says you make no leaders.
Yeah, they don't agree.
Which means you're going to have to decide if you're going to make a leader. Figure out what you're going to do. And then at some point, I probably need to know. I don't know. We've got to go. Do you know what I just started to do?
Tell us where we're going.
I started to run the wagon train, didn't I?
Yeah,
I started to run your wagon.
we're so used to it.
I'm so used to you guys giving it back to me.
So you guys all agree that we should have leaders?
Hannah, who do you think should lead?
I'm thinking you or Allie.
See Allie as a board leader.
Allie.
Okay. So, guys, come over here. We're gonna have a little bit of conflict here because they don't have a leader and our two groups.
Wait,
do.
why does it matter?
Allie, will you two leaders guide us also? Not like all the time, but give us
Well,
suggestions.
I don't want to like lead you and then you guys don't like my.
So now you can't. That's what you guys need.
Guys, wait. This oxen group, we don't want to like tell you what to do and then you'll be like, well, you're not my leader, so I'm not gonna.
But
do it,
if
so.
you want someone to tell you what to do, then it'd be best to have a leader.
Janelle had a good idea. I think the first thing is we need to go ask Mr. Lixie to be our trail guide.
Yeah. He's just guiding us. It's not like he's telling us we have to go this way. So we are relying upon ourselves.
Anyone want to be a
Okay.
spokesperson?
I'll just go.
And we've decided to come and ask you if you would be our trail guide.
And you will?
And will. I've watched you on the trail a little bit, so I'm not sure how this is going to work out.
Yeah.
But I'd be willing to do that.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, we agreed.
You may notice that they asked me to be a trail guide. I wanted to know more. I wanted to know other decisions they're making. And it just got this close, right to the back of my lips to say, so what other things have you decided? And I decided, no, they didn't ask me for that. They just want to be a trail guide. So I don't know what they're doing about leadership. I'm not going to ask. I guess I'll have to observe that. Because they asked me to be a trail guide. It was tempting to go back into being teacher. No, tell me what you're doing. Tell me what you're doing. No. This is going to be hard for me.
Yeah, maybe later we'll decide.
Yeah,
Let's see how I do.
No, we can't because we don't bring this cast iron.
So are you some people
to jobs?
Yeah, we were gonna
'cause some
actually like
people
tell
need,
you
like,
guys what to do.
tents and
Everyone in my group that didn't water last night is going to water. So we'll take, since those are our two, we'll take fancy.
okay.
And then
Which
you
ones
guys,
do I take?
I don't know, just take one of those.
We wake up in the morning and everything is falling apart. The conversation of leadership comes up, the boys reject it. They want to leave the group. The girls decide to choose leaders. They want to stay. And when I offer them the chance to experience the trail, they take that choice. Even though it was reluctant on some, they stay with the group and keep it cohesive. The boys say, we're only interested in getting to the end. This experience part is not any part of our dream. Ours is the fantasy future of being done.
Did he say that we can get a new trail guide?
Yes. Let's use Mr. Mark. If you guys,
Mr. Mark
if you
or
don't go
Mr.
over there, you have
Nystrom?
to find someone else. If you're gonna keep going ahead, you have to find someone else for your guide. So.
I think if we keep going, all of us, then Mr. Vixie comes with us, right?
This fantasy view of the future is fictitious, but today is for real. And if I want to learn to live with contentment, I have to deal with today. And so I offered these students some interesting things, historic events, and a cave where they were going to have a special experience. But I didn't want to draw them there coercively. I just said, I think you'll be very interested in what you see. So it was not a coercive move. The boys said, no, we're not interested. And they busied themselves about leaving.
Andy, come on.
Okay, before we go on any further, I'm gonna explain this, why I think we should go this way. Okay. Why are we on this wagon trip?
To experience all this.
Are we here to get to the end? Are we here to get as far as we can in one day?
No.
We're here for the experience. So that's why I'm choosing this way, because I think it's best for all of us.
And we need to get in touch with Mr. Vixie anyways.
Yeah.
I really think he's a good guy.
You guys, I know.
I'm fine. I'm just
You guys, I know everyone has varied opinions, and I'm sorry, but I
don't really know either way, so.
yeah.
I mean, I would be fine with leaving him, and I'd be fine with going to talk to him, so.
Okay, but I just feel that this is right.
Whoa,
That's
sorry.
where I'm going. Okay, Emily, are you okay?
Guys, we'll probably have to travel during
Okay.
the night. I get the thought about plodding along, but I don't have it. Mr. Vixie!
There he is, you guys. He's here.
All right. Do you know anything about it? You guys here know anything about this wagons being split?
No.
The boys are leaving.
You guys want an explanation? Did you guys get an explanation from Janelle about what
I tried to
happened?
fully explain what.
So the boys are leaving?
Yeah, they said they're leaving.
People that were traveling west were traveling towards a fantasy view of their future, and that was what was in their minds much of the time. And the day-to-day travel and the things that were around them often were ignored.
Is this going to take so long that we won't be able to get to where we need to go?
I'm going to hike you right up there. I'm going to show you something unique. How much time you take is up to you. You can, remember I said you can stop me at any time and say, regardless of how much I desire to show, you stop me.
Okay.
You know that time. It happened in Independence. You've negotiated with me, and it hasn't always been successful. Not necessarily exactly what you wanted, but it's been good negotiations.
Yeah.
Let me give you this information. This is useful to everybody, but the leaders especially. Your day has changed immensely. Long time ago, not right now. This event may be blamed, this moment that you're here may be blamed for how your day goes, but it doesn't. I woke you up at 5:45. 5:45 I woke you up. Plenty of daytime. Plenty of time to go all the way you needed and even get there with daylight. It is now 11:15. But it was 10:15 when the first person came, when the first wagon was ready to go. That's 4.5 hours. Is my math right this time? Your math right this time? That's 4.5 hours. You younglings have had 4.5 hours since I woke you up to independently take care of your camp. Did you have 4.5 hours worth of work?
No.
Did you?
No.
Do you think that it takes 4.5 hours to harness up a team, load your stuff, and go?
No.
Did you ever leisurely sit by that campfire that trapped you?
Yes.
Did anybody?
Yeah, everybody.
Everybody. And does anybody remember me advising you not to light a fire the other day? You're that? Can you tell me, Estelle, what that advice was?
Don't light a fire unless you're cooking.
Because
I don't remember hearing another.
it will put you in prison. Yeah. And you guys sat around. I had to leave camp because it was hard for me. It was hard for me to watch you use up your day in comfort and leisure. I mean, I saw people working.
Dumping out gold.
I saw people getting water. I saw people get up right away and feed. I saw people harnessing. And I saw people sitting around the fire. All of those same people doing some of that and then a little of this. And I finally had to get out of camp because it was too hard on me as a guide to watch that happen and know that I would eventually become responsible for it. So I left word in the camp that I was leaving. If any kid asked where I was at, to tell them I was here because I knew you guys had to come get your wagon. I just want you to know that you had 4.5 hours. And if you think you spent 4.5 hours efficiently, our conversation is useless here. I'm still to blame, aren't I? Do you think I could have got your wagon train running faster than 4.5 hours? Yes. Sure. I just want you to see that when you say, well, coming up here, make it that we can't do that. That decision was made at 5:45. And I'm guiding you here because you still have a day to go. And you can do this very thing. It's going to get harder today. It's going to get harder today because you still have this attitude that follows you everywhere. You go to the new land of promise to get away from the old land of trouble. Problem is, most of that trouble from that old land followed you. It's your shadow. It followed you there, and you get there and say, why is it the same here? Because it's the same shadow. It's falling off the same place. The shadow's coming from the same place. You can pull back any time. I will come, I will guide, I will advise. If you tell me, make us hurry, I don't think I will.
Watch out for that rock. I feel like there should be water in here.
Why did you show us this?
Patrick
It's cool.
Duniga, past September 20th.
grave or
James Turner, 1863.
1845.
1812. August 12, yeah.
I can't split this.
1853.
Wait, will you put it up like Patrick? Yeah, that's
A lot of diaries talk about the cave you originally went in.
Yeah.
Hardly anybody talks about this one because they're in a hurry.
But they knew about it, did they?
I don't think so. Many of them did. It became a post office.
They
Yeah.
a
Maybe-
post office?
Look around. Look around. It's a post office, so look around.
What's up there? Maybe they wrote stuff and stuck it in
In the bag?
there.
There's a bag?
Yes.
U.S.
Turn off the light.
Whoa.
Oh my word, you guys, it's mail! Seriously? Are you serious? Pass it around. Open it. You guys, like, Hannah. Who's this? Oh, now the guy's gonna miss out on their mail. I'm so glad we came here, guys. Is there anything?
These are all here. Those are all your mail.
Miss Ariana Marquez. To Miss Ariana Marquez.
There's one here, guys. You guys, put all the guys' stuff in this one. In this empty one. In this empty one.
All the people who are
Estelle?
here, put it in this empty
Wait, is
box.
Ashlyn coming with us?
Estelle.
Allie.
My dear Alexandra, today as I pick up my pen to write you, you are in pursuit of a dream across a vast and wide desert in search of a new life.
Dear Erica, frequently
I have been
parents say
thinking
to a beautiful, gifted 13-year-old girl that she might actually hear and believe.
Throughout your young life,
We are so blessed to
you
have you in our
demonstrated
family,
courage,
our only girl.
determination, steadfast
Continue
focus,
to be polite,
and a
responsible,
strong
and
work
helpful.
ethic.
As you
as
go
well
through
as a
life,
concern.
put God at the top. Don't be discouraged if you forget Him.
God
for a
has
while.
plans for your
Never forget
future,
to
Emily.
He's always
You are a brave girl with amazing abilities. I really admire your tenacious strength
of character. And remember that no matter how far apart we are, you're always close to my heart. And no matter what, you'll always be my little angel.
An encouraging word is like a desert rain falling upon parched soil. The result is a sprout of courage that springs forth to meet any upcoming challenge that may arise out on the trail. It could be the difference between success and failure. When the bumps in the road are almost unbearable, a gentle word of encouragement and affirmation will re-energize the soul with renewed vigor.
Oh! We're stalled here. Oh! Come here. Get that. Get that. Ho, ho, ho. Get up, come on, hop, let's go. Hey, go. Ho. Oh, wait, no, don't. Get up, come on, hop, let's go. Get up there, come on, Fred. Hop. Move out of the way, Greg. Hop. Let's keep going, hop. Hey, let's go, come on, Fred, let's go. Oh. Okay, let's go. Get up there, come on, get on, Fred. Let's go. Hop. Oh. Bring in the mules. Get up. So we hit the first major obstacle of the day. And as we hit that and began to climb, the boys realized we would have never made it over this obstacle. And it takes teamwork to get up there. But even with that, the amount of effort that the boys put in, it's the girls who are doing most of the work. And I get frustrated with that. And I mentioned it, you guys should be working. And they're offended, they think that they were working.
Hurry!
And frankly, from their world and from their perspective, that probably was more work than that they had ever done. And from my world, it was not much at all. And I was judging them from my world. Now the facts are, the world that they were traveling in required more than they were giving. It demanded more. And so they thought, though they thought they were putting out tremendous effort, that effort was not enough to accomplish that task. But what was significant, they were part of a team, and the team accomplished the task.
I guess we could help hook up the second team, but Mr. Nystrom is doing that, so he probably could do it faster than us.
Okay, if you guys can't think of anything to do, I want you to look around and find a piece of wire or find something like this on the ground. Because we lost one. And yeah, and we need a piece of wire or a piece of... So it doesn't matter how thick we get, if we can get a piece of wire, that'll work. How big was that? I mean, what happened to that wire that you found? I mean, that's almost the same as not picking one up at all, isn't it? To have one in this that we can't get our hands on. Okay, is there a rope on every wagon?
No, there's not enough. We only have 3 ropes.
Okay. What I'm going to say here shouldn't take long. It better not take long. Did you see the first wagon go up the hill and stall?
Yes.
That's your wagon train. Why did that first wagon go up the hill and stall?
Because we didn't have them.
Because not all of the animals were pulling their weight. Some of the animals were making the animals in front pull. The horses were not pulling their weight. They were walking behind the mules and saying, you pull the wagon, I'll walk behind you. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
The horses were not pulling even their 5 pounds. They said to the mules, you do it. They got to a hard spot in the road and they quit. Now, why have I singled a couple of you guys out? Are you in that spot? Do you go to a hard spot and say, I'm done, I'm sitting down and I'm resting? Do you do that? That was a pretty meekish yes. Why don't you be proud of the yes? Have you been doing that?
Yeah.
Have you been doing that?
Yes, I have.
Stand here if you've been doing that. Stand here if you've come to a hard spot and you sat down and let somebody else do it when there's things to be done. Stand right over there.
I'm standing over there.
I'll hold this for you.
Okay.
Come here. You come here. Chun, you come here. Stand here. These are the only 2 hard-working people on the whole trip. See, they didn't stand over there, right? Do you know why they're standing over there?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they worked hard.
No. Why are you standing over here? Okay, let me make it clear again. Have you been working hard on this trip? Working hard. Have you been working hard on this trip?
Yeah.
Always. Do you sometimes sit down and let other people work?
No.
What do you do?
I did sit down.
You sit. The horses were not working hard, and the wagon couldn't get up the hill. The horses were not working hard, like you don't work hard, like you don't work hard sometimes. And so we couldn't get up the hill. Then they got all excited, and then they got mad because I was making them work. Stay here. They got mad because I asked them to work. Do you guys reflect in that? Do you guys understand what happened? They got mad and said, I'm not only going to work, but I'm going to cause you trouble too. That was a perfect representation of how your wagon trip has been going. The bad spots of your wagon trip. Because there's been good spots that the horses have worked as well. Yes? Now, how readily available have you been on this hill while we were doing this? How readily available were you? How often did you step forward and say, what could I do to be ready for the next thing? Raise your hand if you were that way. You were ready. You say, what can I do to be ready, Mr. Vixie? Or you sat down and said, well, they'll take care of that. They'll come and tell us what to do. How many of you stepped forward and said, what do I need to do to be ready? And we're ready. Do I go up the hill? I know there are some who've gone up and down the hill lots of times. Do you reflect at yourself on your wagon train on what happened here? Now, what did the mules do? Kept going up and down, and they didn't stall. And there's 2 pair of mules that worked the whole time. They went up and down every time. Now, how much appreciation do they think they have right now for the horses? They don't care, they're mules. They don't know any better. But if they were people, what would they think? You guys in the back, step to the front. Because really, I'm talking to you, aren't I? Step to the back. Stepping to the back just magnifies what I'm talking about here. Step to the front. Step to the front. Step to the front. Step to the front. Not just behind Espen, step to the front. Step to the front. What's it for the mules then when somebody doesn't carry even 5 pounds? What's it to them? Louder.
Harder work.
What?
Really get down.
More work. And now we've worn the mules down. Not off, not out. Because they've had to pick up the work of the horses. Do you see yourself in that? But will it make any difference when we go down this hill? Will it make any difference at 4 o'clock today? Will it make any difference at 6 o'clock? Will it make any difference tomorrow morning or tomorrow afternoon? Or will you go, great speech, Mr. Vixie, and go back into your plod? Will you? Because I'm uncomfortable. Because this is hard. That's what the horses said. One last thing before we go down this hill. There was a group that wanted to split off from us. You would have taken this hill alone. I advised you not to? It was only advice though, right?
Yes, but you convinced me otherwise.
Then you went and said, Mr. Nystrom, will you take us?
Oh, so you guys are gonna split up the train?
Yeah. Yeah. Because we want to go, but they want to stay. Yeah.
There'll be less resources to cooperate together with.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that we could move faster without the girls. In fact, I almost think that the girls add a spirit and a energy that might make us move faster. It might be that the guys who wanted to go on ahead may not see the consequences of everything that they're choosing.
Pay attention. What would have happened to that wagon train had that group split off?
Had a hard time. They wouldn't have been able to make it up the hill.
What would have happened to your train, your wagon?
We probably would have been broken.
You'd have been stuck on the side of the hill maybe? But then you got this to go down. And you say, I don't need anybody. I can go on my way. And what we're really interested in is why? What was the irritation? What was it that you weren't getting that you wanted so badly that you broke off from the train? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And listen to your reasons that I heard you say. The biggest reason was we'd have a hard time getting water. It had nothing to do, because I remember hearing your reasons. It had nothing to do with the other 2 wagons. It had nothing to do with caring about them. It had only to do with, well, we're going to struggle down there because we won't have water. Oh, we wouldn't want to struggle. We wouldn't have any suffering. That's why we're relieving, so we don't have suffering. But if we're going to have suffering, let's stay here. Do you see the easy road crawl all over you guys? Do you? And ladies, what would have happened?
We would have had a harder time because we wouldn't have them to help us.
We wouldn't have the other guides to help us? Or the animals? And you were given that advice down the road. It wasn't just, oh, well, whatever. You were given the advice down the road earlier that it would be bad news if you split off. And yet you pursued it.
Survival depends on working together.
I think when we go home, we should white that out, black it out, yellow it out, get rid of it, cut it out. Because it wasn't on the test, and it creeps up day after day after day. Maybe I haven't stressed it enough. There's a time for everything, and maybe there was a time for another wreck. There's where we gotta go. Does that look easier?
Found this on the road and picked it up.
I'm noticing that. It might be useful.
Two tents on the edge there, wagon there, and you can eat right here. This is perfect, see? Wagon there, tents there, you can eat
And
here.
there's a lot of room over here.
Okay, but we have to back up the wagons.
First priority is wagons.
Yeah.
You gotta push them over here.
Keep it straight. Jill, you want to take the wheel again or not?
Okay, hold on.
Hold on.
Oh
Okay.
I'm
Hey,
not
Estelle.
good with fire.
We can do charcoal.
And
Yeah,
like surround it around.
So a couple of you three go.
We can?
Yes. Why don't you two do that and we'll work on the animals and I'll switch off with you this time.
Okay,
with
wait,
cooking.
hold on.
You switch off with me.
Though extremely exhausted from the events of the day, the students began to effectively work together to execute the nightly chores. Many hands make light work.
Can some people sleep in the wagon if they want to?
Yeah, I guess we can.
Yeah.
So, we're done. Good job, Jason.
Here.
With a joyful spirit, they willingly do what is necessary before resting from the demanding day. With much anticipation, they finally get the time to sit down and enjoy the eagerly awaited meal.
Next to the fire, and please help us to have a good meal and finish all the work that needs to be done, and then have a good night's rest. Amen.
I love my jerky.
Oh yeah, those of you who are snacking should probably get one last piece of project.
Snacking.
I'll go to the farm one. Ryan, give it to this one right here.
Where?
This one.
Hold it up. Okay, right there.
With the last animal satisfied and their own bellies full, they lay their weary heads in thoughtful serenity.